Peace.
This is a continuation of our PCS to Guam series, so if you haven't watched the first video yet, I highly recommend you watch that one before you continue with this one. It covers our PCS plan and the steps we took prior to leaving Virginia. So last I left off there, it was our last night in the house before the packers and movers were coming over. So basically we're starting off, the first day is like the actual packing up. So we have the packers here, and then the movers or loaders are gonna come on another day, and that's when they're gonna just like take everything away. At this point, we checked into an extended stay in Chesapeake, which was a bit tight for our little family, but we made it work. After the movers loaded all our stuff onto the truck, we proceeded with getting a termite inspection done, setting up a pest control contract, arranging for cleaners to clean the entire house, and then also shutting off our utilities such as our power, our water, our trash, as well as our internet service. Hi. Leading up to our road trip, we had reserved a rental SUV, and it turned out to be a Wagoneer, which was perfect for everything we had. And this cost came up to about $1,700 for 14 days. On the subject of cars, I forgot to mention in my last video that when we dropped off my car for shipment, they actually provided us an app, the IAL app, and we could use that to track the status of my car. So I'm really hoping that it's not too much longer before it gets here. Also, update on my husband's car, he decided to go ahead and sell it. And he actually, researched, got a couple of different quotes from people, and ended up going with a dealership who sold it to him for $4,000. So yay, win! As far as phone plans, my husband canceled his services with Verizon, and I got my phone set up with Google Fi initially. And I say initially because I don't have it anymore. More on that later. On our way again! Mila's first road trip. Woohoo! And we got her facing front since she's at the right weight now. Figured this is a better view, huh? When planning out our road trip, I definitely wanted to make it bearable for everyone, especially the kids. Because if we were to do nonstop from Norfolk to Seattle, it would have been like a total of 2 days, maybe a little less. So we weren't gonna do that. What we agreed on was to start the day driving for a few hours, then we'll make a stop so that we could get out, rest, stretch our legs, maybe grab a bite to eat, then drive another few hours, and then stay overnight somewhere. When picking the hotels for our overnight stays, we kind of set what our priorities would be. Number one was that they had to be pet friendly. Two would be a bonus if breakfast was included. Another bonus would be number three, if there was a pool so our girl could, tire herself out or to have a little bit of fun. And fourth, if we had a fitness center present, then it was awesome because, then my husband and I could alternate getting a workout in. We definitely got to do a lot of awesome things throughout the entire road trip. We got to visit family in Zachary, Louisiana. We got to explore the Museum of Natural History in New Mexico. We got to witness the breathtaking Grand Canyon site, and that was the first time for all of us to visit there. We definitely had lots of fun in Las Vegas, being able to go down the Fremont Street experience and also taking advantage of the pool at the downtown Grand. And just in general, we got to enjoy the scenic drives throughout Oregon and Washington. As much as I miss Virginia already, one thing that I will not miss is the pollen. Because holy cow, in the last week or so before we left, I would, all up in my nostrils was so inflamed. It was the most annoying thing ever. And I don't think I've ever had allergies that bad before, in the entire 4 years that we lived there. Little by little, I'm getting away from that heavy pollen and my nose is starting to clear up. So, yay. along with my allergies changing while we traveled from east to west. I think another cool thing was to see the terrain change as we drove. So, cue road trip montage. We're almost there. Oh man. What an adventure. I'm so glad we did this. So we're trying to get into Seattle, or specifically to the JBLM base for Max's vet appointment. That's where we're gonna get his health certificate. That's within the 10 days of arriving to Guam. All right, buddy boy just received his health certificate. I hung out in the car, so what was it? Did they just like look at his documents and then give him a health certificate?
Yeah, they just double checked some of the documents. Yeah, I think he had to take a deworm pill, and they just checked his general health. That was about it.
And you're all healthy, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, so we had emailed the health certificate to both the Andersen Pet Lodge and the Department of Agriculture.
Department of Agriculture, I'm about to call them right now from the number you just wrote down and confirm that they got it, because they need to send us a port of entry form, and we have to have that before we board the plane. So that's all I'm waiting on.
Awesome. Another step. Good morning. So we got the entry permit from the Department of Agriculture. They emailed that to Luke. He's got it printed out. So now they are just pending payment. So we're going to stop a Navy Fed today and get a cashier's check just so we have it on hand, because we're not sure if they are going to collect it like when we arrive to Guam, or what. We're still waiting on a response for that. So that's where the time difference makes it a little difficult. But yeah, so that's the next step. Another step. I thought the last one was the last step, but apparently this one is the last step. So it was finally flying day, and boy was that a stressful morning. We returned the rental car around 10 in the evening, and then we had to take a bus to the terminal. We had so many bags, but we figured it out somehow, or more so, my husband figured it out while I stayed with the kids. We finally checked in at the AMC ticket counter, and I totally thought we'd be there earlier than most people, but there was already a super long line. We got labels for Max's kennel, and then we were directed to proceed downstairs to wait. So we are all checked in, or at least our bags are, and little one was kind of losing it. I get it. I don't know why we're awake at this time. It's so hard. So now we are just downstairs at the baggage level, because that's where they're going to pick up Max. And they will not be taking him until 2 hours before our flight. So we just hang out down here. There's a pet relief area, so Luke's taking him out for a walk first, kind of help settle his nerves, because I'm sure he's like really nervous right now. Staff members took Max around 3 a.m. and then we went up to our gate, where we waited quite a bit before boarding. So I'm definitely glad I carried pillows with us. It was a 3-hour flight from Seattle to Anchorage, where we got off the plane and had a 2-hour layover. During this time, Luke was able to go take Max out, and anyone else who had pets was also able to do this, and they walked their dogs, let them do their business. And then we boarded onto our flight to Guam, which was a total of about 9 hours. We arrived on the Andersen Air Force Base, and we rode a bus to the waiting area, which had both indoor and outdoor seating. During this wait, Guam Customs also scanned our QR code for our completed customs form. Luke had also walked to the Andersen Pet Lodge, because it was literally right across the parking lot, and they took the pets directly from the flight to the pet lodge. Our bags were also delivered at the waiting area outdoors, so it was kind of hot, waiting in the sun. But thankfully, our family was there to pick us up right away. So fast forwarding, since we arrived over the weekend, we had to wait till Monday to drop off our payment to the Department of Agriculture for the entry permit. Helpful tip, the Department of Agriculture closes at noon, so don't try to plan for after work or anything because they won't be open. But either way, once they received our payment, then they forwarded that receipt to the Andersen Pet Lodge. After 5 days, then Max was good for pickup, so we just had to pay the vet's exam fee before he was released, and then he will be able to finish his quarantine at home with us. And I have to correct myself from my first video because I thought the 120-day quarantine period started the day they arrive on Guam, but it starts when the FABIN tests are received from the lab. So that was like super huge for us. We're like, yay, okay, so he doesn't have to be at home for too much longer and we can take him to the beach soon. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, I had gotten Google Fi set up, but about maybe a week or so after we got to Guam, I was having a lot of issues getting it reactivated. First, I had to do like a military status verification, show proof of orders. But even after doing that, it's like it still would not reactivate. So I just cut my losses at that point and ended up going with GTA because my husband already got GTA right when we arrived here. And adding me onto the plan, it actually makes, the bundle a little cheaper. On top of that, when we get a house, we plan to, get internet also. So that will be an even cheaper bundle once we get all those things together. I am still awaiting my car arrival. So I will update when that happens and the whole process of, getting it registered and whatnot. In the meantime, my husband had bought a car from a local family who is moving off island. For the moment, we are very fortunate to be staying with family while we are looking for our house. There are a couple things that we need to wait for. Also, my husband needs to attend this new arrivals briefing, and they will basically let him know if base housing is at the occupancy percentage that will allow us to stay off base. Because if I'm going to be honest, I would love to stay out in town, or in this case, to stay out on the island. So I will definitely keep you guys updated with the housing situation and our potential home hunting. Also, if you are PCSing to Guam and you want to be connected with a realtor, I have my whole list of preferred realtors here on the island. So you can email me at theislandunicorn@gmail.com. And seems like I'll just have to end up doing a part 3 for this PCS series for more updates. For now, I am just so happy, so elated to be back home on my island. And I can't wait to continue sharing more adventures with you guys.